On today's episode of Unbinged, we're breaking down everything from Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 6, Escape from Camazotz. We find out that the Upside Down is actually a wormhole to a darker, scarier place. Holly and Max are on their way out. Lots of emotional beats in this episode. And we really find out that the true hero of Stranger Things has been Mr. Clark all along. All that and more on an all-new episode of Unbinged, starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down the shows and movies you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown, joined as always, I got Jagger, Matt Kopfhamer. We're breaking down everything from this episode, but first, let's get the spoiler warning.
This is your one and only spoiler warning for Stranger Things, the last season, episode 6, and everything before.
So in this episode, the big reveal right at the beginning is that Dustin has figured out and seen the sketches, the blueprints, the notes, everything, that the Upside Down is actually, technically, a wormhole. And at first glance, I start to think, okay, this is a really good twist. This is a cool twist. And I think it may still be. How much does this alter everything for you guys in terms of the Upside Down, in terms of Henry/Vecna, because we get that cave scene as well? It seems like, I don't want to say rug pull that we're getting here with just 2 episodes left, but we're getting a lot of just twisting of that story. Does it improve the story? Does it cheapen the story? Kopf, I want to start with you.
I mean, it definitely alters our understanding of what the story has been so far. Because, at least for me, I've been like, okay, Vecna's somewhere in the Upside Down. This is going to be the final showdown. And now it recontextualizes that the final showdown is probably going to be in this other world that we're connected to through this wormhole.
I'm the opposite of Kopf, which is crazy because you guys make fun of me seeing the science. Is like, I just don't care that much at this point. Where they're doing it and why it's there matters very little to me and the plot line. You know, all I need to know is, hey, you probably should close that shit up. What's on the other side of the wormhole? Don't care. Sounds like danger. I've seen Spider-Man across Beyond the Spider-Verse. I know that's bad. I saw what Fisk did. We don't want that to happen. You know, that's all I'm at. It's more like the wormhole and whatever the Upside Down actually is a disaster movie disaster. That's it. You know, like what was that movie 2020 that came out with John Cusack? The whole 30 minutes of explaining the science was a waste of fucking time. The movie wasn't even that good. So like I just it's like shit's bad and gonna fall apart. Let's get to it.
Because for me now, I'm looking at this from like, okay, I'm now going into the final 2 episodes with more questions than ever. Because Jag, like I kind of have a foot in both camps here, where I do have the curiosity closet or whatever Dustin calls it, but then I'm also kind of on Jag's side where I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, let me just what's the good story? But it matters, right? Like it matters because then what ends up mattering here is, okay, how dangerous is all of that? Is that where the Mind Flayer originally came from, and now the Mind Flayer is trying to get to our world through this wormhole? Is that how the Mind Flayer got to Henry/Vecna? Because he did seem, when we get that scene in the cave, he was a perfectly normal kid that had that moment that altered his life forever. Before we were starting the show, I called it his Joker moment, the one bad day that just sends you into a spiral, right? I actually think like this one, I'm going to keep calling it rug pull because I can't think of a better terminology for it now, but this one twist, this one rug pull changes so much about the story, and I actually don't know if I like that for going into the final 2 episodes. I wanted resolution from everything else, not a brand new story. How is that working for you guys?
Yeah, it definitely has led to more questions than answers. So, like you said, going into the final 2 episodes, it's almost mind-boggling how they're going to pull off wrapping all this together. And is it going to be satisfying if they do? I mean, if they pull it off, it's going to be satisfying. But there just seems to be so many things that they're adding to the story without resolving it yet. And, I mean, the whole season, we haven't even seen the Mind Flayer. And we all predicted, or we all thought that he was going to be the big bad by the end of it. So is that still going to be the thing, or is it still Vecna? And that's where it gets a little dicey for me.
I just think we're overthinking it because they do this. It's the same formula every season. it's just twice as long because we have longer episodes. So we're attacking Vecna, and now it's kind of like, well, Gotham is its own character in Batman. Well, now the Upside Down and Wormhole is its own thing here. It's always, okay, what's this? Oh, it's big. It's doing some weird shit. And then the science boys need to science through it and figure it out. With the Mind Flayer, we had to learn about fire and ice, whatnot. With the Demigorgon, we had to learn some other shit. With the Demidogs, we learned that they're a hive mind. We always have this big moment of clarity in the middle of the season, and then that gives us the focus to drive the plot. And here's the big activity that we're going to be doing while we learn about ourselves, come out of the closet, and send this fucking thing home. You know, that's like to me, the wormhole isn't a big question. It's just a thing in a plot device, you know. Whereas we talk about like Pluribus, there's a lot of science that backs that, and how to defeat that whole joining hive mind is very much the center of the plot. This is very much like we need to cross the streams, like we need that moment, and then like boom, it's all fucking done. You know, that's where I'm at. Am I oversimplifying? Maybe.
Well, yes and no, because I think that this is now the only questions we really have left, right? Like, because what other questions do we have? Everything else does seem to be getting answered through the dialogue, which is very heavy on exposition, right? So it's like, we don't have many questions about Will left, right? Because he has said that he is siphoning off powers from Vecna, and it's only when he's close to the hive mind. We got pretty much everything about Kali and 11, how they have their powers. And if I'm being real, that seems like it's leading to 11 needing to or wanting to sacrifice herself. I don't know if you guys caught that through her conversation with Mike, where she's like, this isn't one of your campaigns. You don't get to write the ending. And she's saying, you know, Kali and I each have Henry's blood, and as long as we have that, someone's always going to be after us. There's always going to be that evil.
Did you feel that felt hypocritical to me? Because earlier in the episode, she was bitching at Hopper for wanting to sacrifice himself, and then she pulls the same move with Mike. So it felt really hypocritical from a character standpoint.
I think the difference is that she sees herself as someone that could become evil because of her abilities and because of her blood, and that it could lead to more kids being made through a program. Right, like sacrificing herself as a means to an end for a greater good, as opposed to Hop being like, "I'm gonna go blow this up." Like that was just stupid.
Fair enough.
I guess that's fair. I'm a little bit with Koff. I don't like it when the self-sacrifice seems so heavy-handed and set up for everyone. It's like, who's gonna do it? We're all like, they're all like politely asking who's gonna go first or who wants to take the last slice of pizza. It's like, and I'm not saying we don't need these big emotional notes throughout. It's just that, you know, let's just let these characters want to live is what I'm saying. You know? Like, I've just never seen a group of people so willing to die like that, you know?
I want to talk about each of these emotional beats, because this episode was primarily about emotion. Like there was a little bit of plot, a lot of emotion. And it makes me ask some questions, right? Because I don't know that we necessarily need this much character development and this much character emotion, because we know these characters. Like what we're here for, actually, at this point, with 3 episodes left, now 2, is plot and story, and let's wrap this bitch up. But before we do that, guys, Unbinged is a growing independent podcast, and we need your help. We need your help over on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. If you are listening to this, or even if you're watching on YouTube, we need reviews over on Apple and Spotify. 5-star reviews make such a big difference for us. It allows us to grow. It allows us to do new things here as a podcast. If you can please leave a 5-star review, leave even just a sentence on what you like about this show, a series you want us to cover. And if you're watching over on YouTube, take a moment to like this video, comment down below with your thoughts on the episode, what you think is going on with this series. And also, we're covering so many other things outside of Stranger Things. We just finished Pluribus, It Welcome to Derry. We're going to be watching The Pit. We're already watching Fallout every Wednesday. We've got a Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming. So there's so many reasons for you to be subscribed to Unbinged. Now, guys, I mentioned these emotional beats, and this episode was very, very heavy on the emotion. Normally, I actually like it because Stranger Things has done such a good job with that. After season 4, I was walking out of every episode with tears in my eyes. This time it felt like they were going so heavy-handed with the emotion, and I was like, no, we get it. I don't need you to keep adding depth to this. Like, we already love these characters so much. We already care about them so much. Give me the story. Was there an emotional beat out of, and I'll list them out here, the Nancy and Jonathan unproposal, Dustin and Steve, Hopper and Joyce, Max and Holly, Robin and Vicky, Max and Lucas. Was there an emotional beat, Jag? I'll start with you, that just kind of hit the best throughout all of this.
The Max and Lucas part hit the most because Alfredo, you already said it at the end of last episode, where if I was Lucas and I knew that Max was alive and in there, I'm going straight to the hospital and putting music on. Where's homie at? Right there where he should be, and she got what she needed to break through.
And he never stopped playing the music either. Even during their little Jurassic Park Raptors moment with the Demodogs, he's like, no, she's coming back.
Thank you for noticing that, because I was going to bring that up too. It was like the Jurassic Park moment. But it's that part. I have questions though, because like Max kind of did a Holly dirty just a little bit, right? She's like, all right, let's go through this adventure, Holly.
Here's my exit.
Let's go. I was like, all right, cool, Holly. What's next? All right. And then she's like, wait, we're not going? And then she hits him with the Spider-Man, just a Peter Parker. It's like, I missed the part where that's my problem. she's like, sorry, I was stuck in here, kid. You gonna figure it out. You seem like you got an act for this. It just kind of fucking did.
And the best thing is Holly was like, how did you know that was going to work? And Max was like, I didn't. Bye. It was so good.
Good luck.
Yeah. And it's like they had to make the dialogue so long to make her not look like a dick. It's like, like, did they do a rewrite like mid filming? They're like, man, Max, you kind of look shitty right now. It's like, all right, give this big emotional note how you're sad about it the whole time. It's like when someone's trying to dump you, they're like, it's not you, it's me. I'm just going through a lot right now. I don't know what I want. And you're just like,
it's
okay.
It's the person who apologizes too much, where it's like, it's not even an apology anymore. It's just self-serving.
Yes.
That's kind of where we got there. I was remembering this, and I almost wish I guess this was kind of the only way to do it, but they did hint at this. They breadcrumbed at it earlier when Mike was like, hey, here, Holly the heroic, she's a cleric and she can cast protection spells, but also cast a dimension door. And so it was kind of that thing that, like, since what was episode 1 or episode 2 that they've been, I think it was episode 1, that they have been hinting at that she would have that ability to do it beyond, Kate Bush or Blondie needing to play,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I love I'm not, this is not a critique. It's just funny and hilarious while movies do this. Thank God Mr. Clark's syllabus lines up directly with the events of Stranger Things. It's just like, he's like,
talking about wormholes.
Yeah, they show up. Mr. Clark is like, I just taught about wormholes. Fuck yeah. Like, you come to the right place. Like, they never show up. It's like, Mr. Clark, wormholes. It's like, that's next 9 weeks. It's like,
oh man.
Can we talk about Mr. Clark?
Really quick.
Mr.
Clark
he's
fucks,
awesome.
man. Yeah, he fucks.
Him and Murray.
So much.
Him and Murray interacting is fantastic. Oh, that whole little. Who the hell are you? I'm her uncle, babysitter.
Schnookums.
Schnookums. Does she shush you if you get too loud?
Yeah, when you get too loud in the sack.
Yeah,
so
Mr.
good.
Clark not clocking that. It's like, it's my uncle, my person, and not just like, that's a red flag. The 80s were wild, man.
Yeah.
This 2005, I'm like, okay, police. It's like, there's a bearded white man with a little black girl. Yeah, I thought it was weird too.
But to go back to the emotional story beats, I was, I guess, happiest with the Dustin and Steve emotional beats, because that's the storyline that has been so depressing all season, is them fighting and clashing, and then we finally get the emotional breakthrough of like Dustin admitting like, I can't lose somebody else, especially you, Steve. Like, you are my other rock. Like, Eddie had his moment, but like, to be honest, Steve has always been Dustin's rock, even from like season 2. So to me, that's the one that hit the hardest. In when I was watching, I was like, oh, finally we get an emotional breakthrough where they can actually come together. And then you get the Nancy Jonathan unproposal, and I was like, like, comparison. It was crazy to me. Like, watching the comparison, I was like, yeah, that's gross. I honestly, I don't care about Nancy and Jonathan's storyline. Like, to me, they have the most, like, if you want to call it, boring storyline. Like, they're together because of trauma, and now they're finally realizing that, and they would probably be better off separate. So, I mean, that's nice.
Actually, yeah, it's one thing if you don't enjoy that, but I actually think it's necessary, and I actually thought that's good writing. where we don't need to put every girl in a Bella scenario, a Bella Swan. It's like, is she gonna choose Jacob or Edward? You know, it's like both these guys need to get their shit together, and Nancy's just been hobo with a shotgun. You know, she's just been hyper focused on the Upside Down, on Vecna, something having to do with all the shit going down in Hawkins. For us, it's been 10 years. For the show, I don't know. It seems like forever, but it literally, she reached her breaking point when she's like, nigga, I kind of just don't like you that much. And I just feel bad because we went through some shit. Steve's on some fuck shit too. Like, I cannot pop out 6 babies. I'm small as shit. You know, she's like,
I love that she brought that up though too. Like it's really been on her mind. Like that was a factor.
Yeah, it had to have been. And it makes sense. Like 6 kids, Steve, only in the 80s. You know,
yeah, right.
on a radio shock jock salary. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, so I'm with you, Jag. Actually, I'm with both of you here. The Nancy and Jonathan unproposal to me was, I didn't love the scene because the characters themselves are boring, but I'm really glad it happened. It was the ripping off of the Band-Aid. Like, I needed that to be done. So, and I think that's why this episode occurs, because we need all the emotional shit out of the way so we can actually focus on plot for the next 2 episodes, or let's call it like 3 hours that we have here of Stranger Things. That's it. That's all that's left. We need to focus on story. So I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm glad we got the Dustin and Steve thing out of the way. And it was quick. Like, it was just so quick to the point of Dustin being like, I can't lose you too. And Steve's like, oh, okay, man. All right. Like, we're good. It's okay. Like, he needed to, he had that big brother or like adult moment where he really truly realized all of it. I would say the Max and Lucas thing, Jag, is probably where it hit the most for me too. Like, I needed all of these resolutions to happen here, but like with how much Max has been trying to get back to Lucas, how much Lucas has been with her every single day, that's what hit the most for me. Was just, I know I mentioned it earlier, but that moment where he's like, I can't turn off this music, even with the Demodogs here. I cannot turn it off. Because like that would have just frustrated me to no end.
Yeah.
And speaking of that moment, Mama fucking Wheeler. Now we know where Nancy gets her badassery. Like, holy shit.
Well, we knew it wasn't the
I still posit that if they had talked to Karen Wheeler in the first season and got her on board like Joyce, she would have been their biggest help. And they would have wrapped this shit up 3 seasons ago.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, if you would have told Karen, like, they killed your booty call. Like, oh, fuck no. Like, psh, bust out the wine bottle just ready.
This NRA carrying Republican is going to have this shit solved in a season.
Yeah. I love the hidden like little Easter eggs. And granted, like you guys have told us in the comments, is in the 80s, everyone voted for Reagan. It's hard for me to wrap my head around now in 2025. But everyone's like make sure to be nice to them unless they're Mormons or Democrats. It's just like how dark it got for like this whole town. You would think that if they're gonna put a wormhole somewhere, it would be like San Francisco, somewhere in California, but like Hawkins, man, they keep that thing on them at all times.
Yeah. There was a moment too here, but the Robin and Vicky thing was great because I felt like that was really the most relatable moment. Oddly enough, was with the way Robin was explaining everything. I like that they didn't give us the whole thing; like they just came back to that moment, and she had already explained all 5 seasons, which was great, or whatever seasons she's been involved in, the 3 seasons. And she has that moment with Vicky where she's like, dude, the earth just split in 4 and the military runs Hawkins. Is it really that crazy what I'm saying? Like, I love those moments where characters say things relatable where you're like, yeah, I'd probably be saying the same shit too. Like, I feel like that connects so much more emotionally than when you get the cheesy, overused dialogue, like in 11 with Mike saying, this isn't one of your campaigns. You can't write the ending. There's a realism that I think hits with the emotional beats more when that happens.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's like quite legitimately a palate cleanser. You know, coming through here because you're like, friends don't lie to friends or whatever. You know, friends don't like their whole little shit in here. Like, I would be a person that kind of visit this group. I'm like, sometimes you need to lie, homie. Like, we have some shit to do. Like,
Jack's just walking around, grow up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we have no time for whatever this shit is. It's like you're not 12 anymore in a fucking cape. Like, let's go.
Jesus.
Man, can we talk about, I guess, there's a couple things here. One, let's talk a little bit about Kali, because this has been sort of the character that I think a lot of people are most split on. There was already questions about it of like, okay, you are bringing back a character from, let's not mince words, probably the least enjoyed episode of Stranger Things, and a character that I think a lot of people are wondering, why is she here? What's the payoff? Because right now, it does seem like she's there mostly as a plot device to just kind of get 11 in her own head. How is this working for you, Jag?
I just don't care. I don't need Kali, you know? And I'm not saying that Kali can't be there. They just don't know what to do with this character, and it shows. Yeah. It's like, all right, Kali, I need you to break down all this exposition so we can get to the next thing. It's just, Kali is a hard slowdown, and not in a good way. You know, like if I'm watching a Guy Ritchie crime movie and everything's fast cut, it's a lot of talking in British, and yeah, maybe I need a Kali moment to slow the fuck down. But right now, it's just like, buddy, I've waited 5 years. I don't want to wait a second longer on Homegirl to inject Elle with skepticism. Like, do we really have time for that? No. You know, that's that. To me, a lot of the things that bother you guys don't bother me that much, because this is what this show is. Kali is a sore spot on the ass of Stranger Things. I'm not saying Stranger Things is ass, but I mean, it's just like everyone has a problem with Kali, and they still keep saying, it's like, but what if you like her like this? It's like, no, maybe I just don't fuck with kombucha. Like, no matter what kind of flavors you put in it, I just don't like it that much. You know, I actually do like kombucha, but some people just don't, you know?
She seems superfluous a lot of times. And like the only reason she's there is as a direct opposite of what Hopper's telling Elle. And it's like, is it necessary? Maybe. It doesn't seem like it. Like, I'm trying to think,
she's there to give 11 some sort of emotional struggle, because in the past there's always been, I'm not saying that it's done well, but like in the past there's always been a Dr. Brenner or her and Henry, and this time it's like, okay, well, everything almost seems too easy for 11. Like, she doesn't have anything that's mentally blocking her, so let's bring in this character. Like, I'm actually worried that Kali still has some sort of, I don't want to say control, but like, what?
Like an alternate plan, or like she's working.
I wonder if she's almost like a sleeper cell for Henry or the Mind Flayer or something. Like, we don't know enough about her, and I mean, she's fucking weird enough. Like, let's make it pay off. If this is their plan, is just to have her be there and be the exposition dump and sort of the thing that keeps making 11 overthink stuff, that's kind of an annoying character to add. It seemed unnecessary then at that point.
It'd be cool if they killed her, you know, like through the whole big moment. It's like, y'all hated her? What about now? And it's just like, you know, 11 just like splitting.
If she sacrifices herself, maybe.
Kali?
If she sacrifices herself,
not everyone
to save,
can sacrifice
maybe
herself. They're just lemmings. It's like, no, me next. You know.
I also think like it's just from a viewer perspective. Like, Game of Thrones did irreparable damage to people that watch TV shows. Even the cast was nervous about coming back for this, because they were like, we don't want a Game of Thrones this.
Right.
Yeah. I guess that's why I keep saying that Game of Thrones broke TV. I think everyone's expectations are just broken right now. That's where I'm at.
So if they're going the Game of Thrones route, Mike's going to stab 11 at the final season and go off to the north. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And then Mr. Clark will take over the Upside Down. He will sit on
Why
the
do you think
Iron
I traveled this whole way?
Who has a better story?
But what a twist. Mr. Clark actually was the Mind Flayer this whole time.
Oh, shit.
He's been running his own campaign with the kids as his piece. Amazing. Yeah. All right. Guys, I think that's going to wrap it up here for Stranger Things Season 5, Episode 6, Escape from Camazotz. We're going to be back again tomorrow with Episode 7 as we continue through this Volume 2 of Stranger Things, and we'll be back again for the finale on New Year's Day. Like I mentioned, we are also watching Fallout. We just finished Pluribus, Welcome to Derry. We're going to be watching The Pit, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. There are so many reasons for you to subscribe to Unbinged and join us for each of those episodes. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jagger, for Kopf, we'll see you next time. Adios.